Hi there, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. This is Flosstube number 8, and it's been a while. My last Flosstube was the end of October. I can't believe it's been that long. But I thought should come on. I haven't done any videos for a few weeks. I got kind of burned out last year with all the collaborations that I participated in, where I had to do so many videos every month. I enjoyed creating for them, but it was a lot, so I'm going to not do quite as many this year, and I did not participate in any of the collabs for this year. So I'm refocusing my crafting goals for this year. I don't know where my list is from last year. I think I met all my goals, my crafting goals I did last year. I had some big goals, and I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of videos, and it was a lot of fun. I apologize for the reflections in my glasses. I can't get the light right no matter what I do, so that's just the way it is, and I can't see without my glasses. So, for cross stitch for this year, I decided to, well, when I first started planning, I had all these big plans. I was going to do, because it's 2022, I was going to do 22 new starts, and I was going to plan 22 finishes, and it was a lot. And I have around 50 works in progress or WIPs, and I really don't need to start 22 more. I love to kit up and start new projects, as you guys know, but I also love to work on my existing projects, and since I have so many, it really limits how many I can finish unless I do a bunch of smalls, which I like to do bigger ones. So what I decided to do this year, there is a Flosstube lady her channel is called Jessie Marie Does Stuff. And she does what she calls WIPGO. And it's kind of like bingo, where you have a board with 25 spots on it. And it's your own thing. You do whatever you want as far as how you create your board. So I put 24 different projects in it. It does have a free space. So I put 24 different projects in it. And then every month she calls 2 numbers, and you set your goal as to what you're going to do on those projects for the month. So I did mine all the same. I put 24 projects in it, and my goal is 5 days stitching on each of those projects in that month. It may be 5 minutes in a day, or it may be all day long, but 5 days of putting some kind of stitches into the project. And I'm not going to show you all 24 that I have. I don't want this video to be hours long, but so I'll show you my WIPGO board. It's in my planner, and I mean, I created this. There was a template in the Facebook group that I downloaded. And so for January, she called 2 and 19. So my number 2 is Stablemates, and my number 19 is Blue Sky Sampler. Stablemates I had already started, but I pulled it out, and I've worked on it for 2 days. And it is this project, Stony Creek. I love Stony Creek stuff. And here is where I am right now. When I started this yesterday, 2 days ago anyway, what I had done previously was all of this green and the bird, and I'd done his ear and part of his mane and just a little bit of brown in his face. So in the last 2 days, I have finished his mane, and I am like more than halfway done with his face. So my goal for the 5 days I'm working on this month is to finish his head and maybe start on the kitty. I'm not sure. I only have 10 days that I have to work on my WIPGO project, so I might go back to this one because I love stitching on it. It's on 14 count vintage smoky white that I got from Stony Creek, and I am really loving stitching on it. It's kind of funny, the project I just finished that I'll show you in a minute was 18 count, and this is 14 count. And 14 count is so much easier to stitch on, and it seems like it goes so much faster. I have another project on 28 count, I think, that I'm enjoying stitching on, and a 32 count. I thought 18 count was my favorite fabric, and I like that it makes your project smaller, but this is just so much easier to stitch on. It goes so fast. So this is Stablemate. So this is my WIPGO project number 2. So it's one of my January projects. And the other one I haven't actually started yet. This is called the Blue Sky Sampler by Elizabeth's Designs. I've had this pattern for 30 years or more, and I decided I wanted to work on it. My WIPGO plans, there are like 3 or 4 new starts in there instead of 24 or 22. So I figured that's manageable. And this is a sampler. This isn't technically cross stitch. So once I get going, I've done this kind of stitching in the past. Once I get going, this will go pretty quick because some of these stitches are really fast. So those are my WIPGO plans. Basically my cross stitch plans for the year, and anything else I decide I want to throw in there. I did have a list of 22 new starts that I was going to do this year, so some of those might get started. Like I said, 4 of them are on my WIPGO list. And then for my other crafting goals, I've decided I really want to get back to my scrapbooking. I have a ton of pictures and a ton of supplies, and I have creative memories and close to my heart and Stampin' Up! And all of that. And right now the pictures take up a huge space in my closet, and I'd rather have them in albums, in scrapbooks. So I'm going to work on that. Last weekend, my big project for the month was to pull out all my pictures and organize them. I've decided each month I'm going to do one big project. I haven't decided what they all are yet, but so for January it was pulling out all my photos and organizing them. And I'm going to scrapbook one weekend every month. So that's going to be this coming weekend. Today is January 12th. So the weekend of the 14th is when I'll be doing my scrapbooking. We'll see how far I get on this one weekend. Before I could start, I had to clean up my mess, and I've done that. Let's see, is that all of my... That's pretty much all of my crafting plans. I want to use stuff that I have, which that's been one of my goals every year. And I did do a lot of purging this year, and I was very selective in what I kept. So I have some specific things that I want to be working on. The other plan I've made for the year is I'm thinking I want to open an Etsy shop. I tried it years ago with cards and nobody ever bought anything, but the things that I'm thinking I want to put in it are cross stitch related, and I'd like to make needle minders and scissor fobs, and I don't know where my list is. I have a whole list of things that I'm thinking about that I thought might be fun. And then I also want to start using my my Cricut Joy. I have a Cricut Joy, I have a Brothers Scan and Cut, and I have a Cameo Silhouette. And so I want to start doing some stuff with those also. So we'll see what happens with all of that. It's just something else fun to do. So that's enough of that, of my other crafting plans. Let me know what you think about me opening an Etsy shop. And yeah, I'm curious to know what you think. I will put in it the kinds of things that I really enjoy making. So we'll see how all that goes. So now let me show you my, so for my WIPs, my current works in progress that I've worked on since my last video, it was Stablemates and my Emma Sorry about that. I'm not sure where I left off. The dog was barking. And I think it was with my Emma Congdon. I was talking about my WIPs. I only have 2 WIPs I've worked on since my last video. One was the Stablemates that I just showed you, and the other one is in this book. This was a stitch along by Stitch Again Sam, Cross Stitch for the Earth, and it's this picture that is 4 seasons, And Sam started each season on the first day of the season, so she actually started hers the first day of spring. I didn't get in until summer, so I started mine the first day of summer. And then on the first day of fall, I started this. And then on the first day of winter, I started this. I only have a few stitches in here. I did stitch it the first day of winter, and I don't have spring yet. So here is mine. I'm really sorry if I repeated myself. I paused for the dog, and it didn't start right when I thought I started it. So here is this. You can see all my 3 seasons, and up here is my little tiny bit of winter. I put in 1 thread. This one goes really fast. So once I get my 5 days on each of my WIPGOs in, I'll be going back to this, and that will be fun. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 8 new starts since my last video. Like I said, I really like to start, and that's why I don't want to start a bunch more this year. So let me show you what those are. The first one is by the Fat Quarter Shop, and it's called All the Trimmings, and it's not a great picture, but this is it. I am doing mine on 14 count Stormy Gray by Fabric Flair, and this came from the Fat Quarter Shop in my fabric of the month, and I only have a little start on it also. I started in the middle. I love this fabric, this Stormy Gray. So that is one of my new starts. The second one, I don't know if these are in order. This is a Mill Hill kit, and it's called Winged Monarch. And I think it's beautiful. I love butterflies. Anyone who knows me knows I love butterflies. And this one also is a tiny little start. I don't even know if that's the right orientation. This is kind of a yellowish, greenish perforated paper. I am going to do what a lot of people call Mill Hill Mondays, and every Monday that will be my focus project for the day, and that should go pretty fast. And I don't know what sent me down this path, but I got the gnome fever. Everybody seems to love gnomes, and I was kind of indifferent, but my sister and I were at a holiday fair thing. It wasn't like a craft bazaar, but it was something different, and we kept seeing gnomes everywhere, and I bought this cute gnome that goes on a wine bottle, and I can't make myself put him away. He's sitting over there. He's very cute. But I started looking for cross stitch patterns, and I came across this, and it's a tiny picture, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. I just thought it was adorable. So I was trying to decide what color I wanted to stitch it on, and with all the floss colors I had, I decided I wanted a pink. And so I actually dyed this fabric myself. This is how far I am on my gnome, starting at the top of his hat. But this is my pink fabric. I don't know what color of dye I used. I was just playing with fabric. And this is 18 count Ada. So that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back to him too. He is just adorable. And then I also started the Cricut Collection Sugar Cookies. I wanted to do some Christmas stuff, but I didn't. When I show you my finish, you'll see why I didn't get a lot done on any of these. I just got them started. This fabric from Sugar Cookies, it's by Bee Stitch Me, and it's called After the Harvest, and it's 16 count Ada. It's from her fabric of the month. And this is my tiny little start on Sugar Cookies, just right here. But this fabric is so pretty, and it's more of a brown color than it's showing there, and I really like it. The next thing I started, I was looking for pictures for my sister to do for her birthday, and it's kind of interesting. Her birthday is the end of December, and in November I'm looking for patterns. Well, how can you get anything done on time? It so happened she was going to be out of town on her birthday, and we're not getting together for her birthday for a couple of weeks from now. But I'd started this picture. My sister loves flamingos. This is a kit that I bought. Oh, I might have got it on Amazon or 1, 2, 3 stitch. I don't remember where I got it, but it so looks like her. And I started working on it. And what I have done is just, I started in the upper left. But before I got very far, I had a wild hair and decided to do something else. So I'm going to pause on my new starts and show you what I did for her, because I did actually finish it. My sister also likes teacups and tea stuff, and she and I were on a crafting weekend in November, and I was working on a picture I'll show you in a little bit, and she's like, do they have any tea things? And I said, I don't know. And so I went and looked. The picture that I was working on then is by Little House Needleworks, and I did not find any tea stuff. But I started looking, and I found this Shannon Christine pattern. It's called Tea Party. There's a lot to it. It's very busy. This is the first one of her patterns I've done. She has beads and Krynic in hers. And I did mine. I again dyed my own fabric. And I did 18 count, and I had bought the beads, but they don't work on 18 count because there are places where you're putting like 20 beads, one in each spot, and they were too big. And I'm out of time, so I couldn't go buy smaller beads. So instead of the beads, I did other things. But here is my finished picture. It's hard to see the white parts. I think it's beautiful. I dyed the fabric. It's just I think an aquamarine dye, and I used 18 count white. So I think I'm hoping, I'm going to go tomorrow and look. I'm going to frame this myself because, like I said, I'm meeting with her in less than 2 weeks and I need to have it done. So that was something that I've worked on since, I don't know what day I started it. Let me see what day I started it. Tea Party. Tea Party 47. I started it on November 19th, and I finished it on the 10th, on January 10th. And there's a lot to it. There's a lot of, I expected it to not take as long as it did because I was focused. That is all I've stitched on since I picked it up. And I was very happy to be done with it. So back to my current works in progress, or my new starts. Another one I started, I had 2 big pictures that I really wanted to start, one on Christmas Day and one on New Year's Day. This was my Christmas Day start. This is, it's a set of 4. They're by Jeanette Douglas, and they're called By the Sea. So this one is Spring by the Sea, and there's 4 patterns, and they're made, you can kind of see on here, they're made to be stitched either all together, or if you want to stitch them separate, there is an option to have this border just around this one. I decided to stitch them all together, and this is a very expensive picture because it has silks and all different kinds of specialty flosses in it. And I thought the best way to go, which might have been, I'm not sure because it still costs a lot. My local needle workshop sells a little accessory pack for each of these patterns. Those little accessory packs were very expensive. So I can only imagine, because it only has enough thread and the beads and stuff that you need, or charms. I can only imagine that if I had bought full skeins of floss for all these different flosses, it would have cost me a lot more. But it's beautiful, and I'm going to love it. I have just a tiny little start. This is stitched on 32 count French lace linen. And my tiny little start is right here. It's very hard to see. It's a Borgello stitch. I'm starting in this corner. It's the sand in the corner. So that is how far I've gotten. This is very pretty fabric, and it's 32 count. And so far I'm enjoying it. except it's linen. I do not like stitching on linen. I prefer even weave, but that was all they had when I was ordering. So I got it from my local needle workshop. Isn't local to me. It's an hour away, and I did this via email and they mailed it to me. So I didn't actually go look at the stuff that they had. Another new start that I had is Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's called Ruskin's Penguins. I was looking for penguin patterns because I love penguins. And so this is the pattern. And the penguins are kind of funky, but where I had seen it done, it was all black and white and cream, which is not me. So I decided to do the penguins in black and white, but the fabric is 28 count Lugana by Fortnite Fabrics, and it's called Couture. And this is the fabric, and you can't really tell. This is sparkly, and it's a pale blue. It doesn't matter where I put it, I can't get the color. But it's a really pretty pale blue. So that's how far I've gotten. And I chose, like I said, I don't like black and white and cream. So I chose these blues to go with this. So there's two different variegated blues. I haven't decided yet. I have a white and a blue and a black, and then I have two variegated blues. I haven't decided yet. The variegated will be in the border, and I'm not sure which ones I'll use. The center will be all black and white, and then the blue will be in the border, and the fabric is blue. So that one, it actually goes pretty quick too. Like I said, it's 28 count, which is fun to stitch on. And then the last one I started, it's called Holland Springtime Garden Mandala. Teresa Little Stitcher on YouTube. I've seen her a couple of times show different chatelaines that she is working on. And chatelaine, it might be the name of the company. They're all by Martina Rosenberg. And yeah, I think that's the name of her company. And it's a mandala because they're like all four quadrants are basically the same, only on this one they're a little bit different. So this is it. It's a small picture. So they're all the same. All four quarters are the same except for this picture here, which is hard to see. A lighthouse, a sailboat. I don't remember what's down here. And then so there's lighthouse, sailboat, and then this is like a farm. It's really hard to see. So I'm anxious to see this done. It's pretty big. It finishes, I think, at 2 feet by 2 feet. So it'll take a while. But this is being stitched on 32 count Jobelin Summer Sky. I got this from 123 Stitch. And I started this on New Year's Day. And this is how far I got, which was actually pretty good because I was also working on my tea party picture. So that's part of the center. These, it's best to work in the center, start in the center and work your way out. It's hard to see the modeling in this fabric, but this fabric is really pretty. The instructions start in the center, working out. And because it's a mandala, for me, that way I know everything will work as I go around the edges. So I'm excited to get back to that one also after my 5 days on the other two. It's also on my WIPGO board, so it will come up at least 1 month this year. But I think it's one that I'll pull out more than that to work on. So I already showed you one of my finishes. The other finish is Quilt Shop by Little House Needleworks. This is on 16 count sand by Bestitch Me. And this I stitched in just a few days. I started it on my weekend in November with my sister. We went to the coast for a weekend. And it was fun to stitch. I really like this fabric. It looks kind of like parchment, old parchment. And I haven't decided how I'm going to finish it. So that's why it is not fully finished yet. So that is it for the stitching that I've been doing. I am so glad I'm done with Tea Party because I really wanted to get into stitching other things, and I didn't let myself. I needed to finish that picture, and I finished it. And now I can iron it and frame it and be done and give it to her. I have just a little bit of stash enhancements. I did not buy a lot of stuff since my last video. I bought a few patterns. Let me show you this stuff. I had seen this. I keep seeing people with Silver Creek samplers, and I had never bought one. And this one is called, what's it called? My Christmas List. So this is a new pattern that I bought. I don't know if I have this on my list to start this year or not. It might get started anyway, like in July when I do Christmas in July. I'm not sure. I don't have to start it right away. And then I bought Silent Night by Stitching with the Housewives. I've seen this done several times, and I think it's just really fun. I don't know if I'll stitch it on black or if I'll use a dark blue. I have some really pretty blues that came in my Bestitch Me mystery box, so I might do it on one of those. And very funny, I had all this stuff in my cart, these few things in my cart with Fat Quarter Shop, and when I went to check out, I did not realize I put this in there twice. So I have one of these to give away. So if you would like to have this pattern, put the word Silent Night in the comments below, and I'll give this away the next time I do a Flosstube. I was in the quarterly club with Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I did decide not to do it anymore. They are way for beginners, so their patterns were kind of, the quarterly patterns were not really for me. This one's really cute. It's kind of funny because I was looking for penguin patterns and I had a hard time finding any. This was the last one I got. It came at the beginning of December. Isn't it cute? It's a cute little penguin, and it's a complete kit. And it came with this so cute little needle minder. So I got that. I don't know when I'll start that. And then I am in the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly Club. And what came in December from them came in this bag. Part of the reason I stay in this club, there's also a way for beginners, is because I like the bags. And there's always a needle minder and fabric and floss. So this is the pattern that came in at this time. This is called Oh Dear. He's very cute. So I'll probably stitch it up next year sometime. Or maybe for this Christmas. And then it came with Blue Blizzard Opalescent 14 count fabric and all the floss. And this is the needle minder with this one. I think that's adorable. Adorable. So that was really all of my haul. I might have bought some floss for some of my projects. I'm not sure. It has been a long time since my last video, and I don't really keep track of that stuff too much. I'm trying to spend way less money this year and be more conscious and mindful of what I spend, because I'm very suggestive, so I'll see something on somebody's channel and like, oh, I have to have that, and I'll go buy it. And then at the end of the month, I've done that way too many times, and I'm surprised by how much money I've spent. So I'm trying to be way more mindful of that, because I have so much stuff, and I don't need to start something new every week. And I don't need to keep buying patterns if I don't have time to start them. So we'll see how that goes, how I do with that for this year. So that's really all I have. Not sure how long the video is because I had to pause it in the middle. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I hope you like it and you'll come back. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I will be doing some other crafting videos throughout the year. I think my first one might be and I don't know when it will be. Oh, excuse me for a moment. I was going to show this to you, and then I dumped it. I picked it up wrong. I had done some cards for one of the collabs that I was in, where I did these fun backgrounds. This is alcohol inks on glitter paper. So I'm going to do a video showing those at sometime soon. I'm not sure when. I'm not sure what else I want to do for crafting videos for this year. If there's anything you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm always happy to throw one in there if there's something that I know how to do and you want to know how to do it, or you just want to see me do it. I can do that. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time.